What's going on, everybody? So I want to make a video. Someone's gonna coming up, that's fine. I want to make a video, what's it like to die, for the last 4.5 years. And I blame this solely on veganism. Solely on veganism. There may have been things that pushed it. He's gonna stay in this lane. There may have been things that pushed it, such as me working out, but I would have been fine, hence I had the right nutrition. So I blame it solely on veganism, and I just want to explain in this video what it's like to die because I felt like I was going to die every day. Now, what we need to differentiate is there's different ways to die, obviously. And actually, from my understanding, obviously it's a point of view. When you die, it's actually a good thing. It's not actually a bad thing, depending on the circumstances too. And that goes deeper into other stuff, but I'm not going to get into it. Such as along the things like reincarnation and suicide. So now, I didn't have a near-death experience where people, you can search online or read books, you probably heard about this if you've seen this video, where people actually die and leave the body, and then all that spiritual stuff happens. I didn't die. But I was very close to dying. And while, how can I prove this, or how can it be proven? It can't really be proven. Even on paper, people have died and be very alive. And there's multiple things for that. But anyways, there's more people coming. How's it going? I lost where I was. Maybe I'll cut the video and bring it back. Shit. Okay. So like I said, these people actually die and come back. And, I was getting at, where the proof you want to die. Sorry, I did lose my train of thought. There's been no bikers until I turned on the video. But it doesn't really matter. I just actually lost my train of thought. So I can't prove that I almost died. Well, I can, basically, is what I meant to say. And the way it is it's a feeling. It's a feeling you're gonna die. In fact, if you're aware of your body, you know when you're dying or you're about to die. It's as simple as that. It's not some complex stuff. You don't need science behind it. It's a feeling. Most people aren't going to get to that feeling of dying in their life until their old age, or something really tragic or drastically happens to them. So what's it feel like to die every day? I'm going to explain it. So again, it happens different from everybody, how to get there, but I was there for a long time. And I'll tell you when it first happened, but I'm going to tell you the symptoms first. So the symptoms would be, you're going to get cold. You're going to get cold when you die, because your body, basically, your soul, whatever keeps you alive inside, has heat. So when you die, you're going to go cold, you're going to go numb. It's actually a little bit different than you would think. You're gonna go cold. That's because your heat's gonna leave the body. You are actually heat. You're not actually coldness. You're heat, and that's all I can say with that. Your soul, whatever's keeping you alive, whatever you want to call it, is actually heat. Heat is what keeps you alive, and you'll leave, and that heat will leave, which is a vibration too, I guess. So it's just very small. another thing that will happen, which is more so a mentality thing, or kind of like non-duality, people call it, or they can call it, some call it enlightenment. There's different degrees, I guess, but you don't care about anything. Like, there's not no one, if you actually are aware of it when you die, you can be aware of it well before you die, of course, but you'll notice, like, some people when they die, they just get, they realize, like, their eyes will open and they'll be like real astonished, or, you know, in fear. Like, I've never seen people die necessarily, but I know. I mean, I've also heard. So you'll realize everything's like connected, and everyone's your family, basically. There's not anything separate, to say that. So no one's family is really different from your family. The same life force that's in that family is in your family. No, and it's just people are separated because they don't know this, basically, or maybe for survival tactic, basically. But for the most part, people are unaware of it, and they don't really know the soul, from what I've observed, for sure. And you'll see these people are like caught up basically in their ego and very opinionated on things and feel a lot of things. You actually, like, some people, I'm giving my personal preference, but some people will think about their family and stuff like that because they're real connected to it. The way I was dying, I didn't really care about anything. I just, like, my body was so messed up and dead that I didn't care. I didn't want this video to be long, but I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about anything in the past or the future, doing something, accomplishing something, any of my possessions. That's the problem with people, is they get hooked, or a thing called attachment, to these things. So I just didn't give a shit about anything, which is actually like the correct attitude, the stoic you want to be, basically, like not giving a fuck, which is very true at the time of death. And yeah, that's one of the main things. And that's basically it. that's the majority of it. This arm is the weaker arm. I just didn't care about anything, and I seen everything, basically. That's also I want to say. There wasn't a God that came and talked to me. There wasn't Shiva. There wasn't Jesus. There wasn't any God. There wasn't any guardian angel. I'm not saying these powers aren't real, or entities, vibration, whatever you want to say, of these things. It's not that I don't think they're real. They're more so, they weren't coming when I was dying, that's for sure. Nothing was helping me, basically. Nothing was coming to help me. I had to help myself. So, and I prayed and did a lot of things too, on top of all that. So, and nothing got better till I made changes, basically, which I've tried a lot of things. And so what I'm getting at is I really felt like death, basically, and because of veganism solely, it ruined my body and basically destroyed it. And I don't want to talk about that forever, but how I first came to know it was basically, even though I was getting signs before, such as like starvation. I was so hungry, but I never had a thought to go eat meat. I never had an inclination to go eat any meat. Never. Not a thing. So I used to smoke weed, and this is when I got the message. But by the time I got the message, it was like too late, basically, because it happened within like a month after, and it was I already went back to eating meat, and it was way too late because I was too damaged before, and I still am damaged. So when I went to go I smoked a little bit of weed, and I've smoked weed during this time too and before this. I had a thing when I smoked the weed. It was only a little bit, and it told me directly, and it was like, sorry, I wasn't looking at the phone, I was more so thinking. It told me directly, it was like, you're dying. That was the message I got from the weed. It was straight. I never got a message like that before. And it was like, you're dying. And of course, the following years, I freaking was like dying every day. Completely felt like I was dead inside. Completely dying. Like dying. A message I got. So that's how it started. That's how I got the message. But I didn't know, and it happened. I was already dying in the process. But the thing, I was literally dying is what you need to understand. And it wasn't as just, oh, go eat some meat and you'll be fine. Because there was already so much damage done. A lot of people aren't going to understand that. That's fine. And I just wanted to make a video because I couldn't think of what to make a video about right now, because today's just been a dying day basically. And so even though I got the message, it didn't tell me like, hey, go eat meat. I just got the message of I was dying. But I didn't know I was dying about nutrition, because I didn't really know too much about nutrition when I was 20 to 22. I didn't know anything about that. Nothing at all. Nothing. They've never taught me anything basically. And to be on my best behavior, I completely think the standard American diet is better than the vegan diet. And I 100% with that. I don't care about the oils. I don't even care about the processed food. I 100% standard food American diet is better than freaking vegan diet. So, because I have brothers at home and freaking people that eat garbage every day, and they're fucking fine. I was gonna die every single day. I don't even have the power, because I'm still not healed, and I don't have the essence really. I mean, the power, vitality, a lot of things you could say, but I don't, like, you could say spiritual, I guess, because I know what it, you know what I mean? You just don't care. And that's basically it. So, subscribe to the channel. One other thing I was going to say was, when your body feels like dying, which you probably won't feel like this, when your body feels like it's dying, you kind of like want to die after so long, because it's just because when your body feels like dying, you don't want to stay in it. Because what happens when you die, whether you believe in an afterlife or not, you're not held down by food. You're not held down by limitations of the body, the physical body. You're not there. Though it's like a whole other existence. And no, I haven't went there, but I know. I just know. And after you read things too, and everyone says very similar things, it's true. You don't really die after you die, basically. I mean, you can call it beliefs or whatever you want. That's fine. But just stuff I've seen and been researching. But it's just like, you don't have things. You don't have the. You just don't. You're not held down by the body. It's a completely different thing. So yeah. And that's all I have to say for the video. So subscribe to the channel if you like. And have a nice one. I hope this puts some perspective into it. It's, yeah.